Hello and welcome to Microsoft Digital Now. I'm Andrew Wilson, Microsoft's Chief Digital Officer. Today, technology is at the heart of every business. Its mission criticality, its speed is something we're all having to deal with. On this series of conversations, I'm looking forward to speaking with friends, industry leaders, both within Microsoft and across the industry, about how they're tackling digital and wider business transformation. So let's get to it. Joining me now, one of my very good friends at Accenture, it's Global CIO, Penelope Prett. Penelope, welcome to the show.
Andrew, thanks for having me, and it's so good to see you again.
I hope everyone at Accenture is safe and well. Penelope, I know that you lead one of the most large-scale, hyperscale, global workforces when it comes to your employee base in Accenture. I can imagine that you've got huge demands, huge expectations, particularly in the last 2 years. Could you talk us through how you've enabled that workforce? What are they demanding and what's working?
So I think one thing that I would add to the way you described it, Andrew, is technology literate. I work for a company where every person in the company is technology literate. And so they're very clear with me about their needs and demands. That is a challenge, but it's also an opportunity. On the challenge side, they need tech that's ready to go at the point of service. They need to be able to access everything we do from any point in their travels around the world. We can't always depend on the infrastructure of the place we're in. So from a CIO's perspective, it's a delight because I get to figure out how to both best case and use case across the spectrum of enabling them. But it's not just, as you know, about giving them a means to connect to the company. That means has to be a pleasant experience. It has to support engagement. It can't drive people to say, oh my God, I love this company except for the tech. So there's a lot to do there, right? That's kind of on the provisioning side. On the opportunity side, the thing that's great about it is when you have a technology literate population, as I do at Accenture and you do at Microsoft, they are willing to play with you. So you can try new things. You can push the edge of the envelope. There's a much higher tolerance for new things, for failure, and for learning. And that presents CIOs like you and I with a unique opportunity to push the market as far as it will go on the enablement of enterprises working in a global footing and device management. It's a good time to be a CIO.
You have hundreds of thousands of employees in Accenture. Does that scale ever challenge you? Does technology break? How do you deal with it? How do you decide when things are ready for prime time?
Well, one of the philosophical arguments that you and I have had before, and we'll have again over many dinners, is that we're reaching a point in the technology life cycle in general where more and more power is being put in the hands of the end user. IT is no longer needed as a middleman to make all that happen, right? And so as we see the technology evolve and the power go out to the business units, it's a beautiful thing, because it takes capacity needs off us, right? Everybody becomes part of the IT organization in providing services. But the challenge of it is if we don't spend the time up front to set the guardrails on how we deploy that technology, how we protect it, how we secure the data, how we enable the people and train them to use it, you can create chaos. You can create a train wreck, right? So I think it's a good time to look at how you do change management in general across your technology landscape, whatever your company is, and to think about whether your change and adoption practices and how you measure experience and throughput rate have kept up with how the technology has evolved. I'm sure you're seeing much of the same thing at Microsoft.
I think we are, and the question we're asking, something that I know you must be dealing with as well. We've democratized code. We've got low code. We've got no code. Everybody is a developer, and particularly, as you say, for we technologists, supporting technologists. Are we going too far? And does it reach a point where IT is everywhere and we can't control it? How is code democratization being received at Accenture?
In general, with a technology literate population, democratization is a good thing. But within our IT house, there are three things that we keep firm hold of to make sure that the foundation on which we enable all these democratized capabilities stays consistent and protects the interests of Accenture. and that is user experience. Is the user able to access what they need in a way that they find both intuitive and pleasing, that doesn't interfere with the productivity of their day? So the experience layer, the data layer, because in a world where everybody feels like they can access everything, everybody comes with their own answer to everything, right? And so what we want to do across the company is unify data and make sure we change the data culture of how our people see and understand the data we provide them. And then, of course, most importantly, there has to be a unified security layer so that you can let everybody play and have fun, but you don't threaten the company or the clients that it serves. So we take control of those three layers, and we find by doing that, Andrew, it's really possible to democratize a lot of things and allow a lot of freedom across Accenture.
Now, you spend a lot of time in the market. You speak with many customers. What are they coming to you with? What questions do you find yourself helping customers with? And what are they excited about that they can learn from what you've been discovering with your own workforce?
The role of IT in general is changing. You're feeling it, I'm feeling it, other CIOs are feeling it, right? And we're coming to a philosophical question about what IT is meant to do for a company. And the conversations that I have with other CIOs, the language is moving further away from technology for technology's sake, although we all love that and can play in it all day. And it's coming much more into how technology creates data and makes available to the business constituents that it serves the insights they need to make competitive choices about what their company's doing in the market. So it's evolving the maturity of how we think about the technology landscape of a company in general. And I think you and I have some exciting things that we can focus on in the future together, including looking at how to leverage more of the metaverse to bring a broader experience across the company while still protecting that layer, how to create better data structures underneath all this technology so that the data can be more easily shared, not only inside our companies, but across the entire ecosystem of partners we work with.
I think, like you, the customer dialogue I'm in focuses as much on the culture, the way work is done, the role of the technologist in the organization, which I think, as you say, is expanded, it's different, it makes it even more exciting. I'm sure we'll be talking about these themes for a long time to come. Now, Penelope, you and I have known each other several years. I've known you as the global CIO of Accenture, but like me, I'm sure perhaps this didn't exist when we were much younger. So when you were a little girl growing up, do you mind if I ask, what was your dream job going to be?
I always thought about the possibilities, not just the possibilities here, but the possibilities out there. And so if you'd asked me the number one thing I wanted to be as a child, it was an astronaut. And then, of course, my parents took me to see Star Wars. I stayed a whole Saturday and watched it 9 times in succession. And then here comes Star Trek, and then here comes Doctor Who. And so I became convinced that my destiny lay in space. It didn't play out that way, but my job is very much about opportunity and possibility, and that's a wonderful thing.
I love it when anyone mentions Doctor Who. I knew about your Star Wars interests, less so perhaps about your knowledge of Star Trek, which is more me, as you know. Hobbies and interests during pandemic?
Oh, this is interesting. I actually did pick up something during the pandemic. I was confined to the house as everybody else was. I was slowly losing my mind. And I talked to an elderly family member that I hadn't talked to in years. And her name is Jewel. And she said that one of the great regrets she was having was that she was a food preserver. She did canning every day of her life and had thousands and thousands of recipes. And no one in the family was particularly interested. And I said, well, I'm bored. Let me see. Andrew, I fell in love with it. It's incredible. The science of how you combine ingredients and preserve them to make something completely new and then gift it to people and share it over time. It fulfilled some need in me I didn't know I had. I love it and I'm devoted to it. So I recommend canning if you're looking for something to do during lockdown.
I wouldn't have predicted that knowing you, but I'm neither surprised by it either. Penelope, on behalf of everyone on the show, I'd like to say thank you very much for joining us. If you were here in the studio, I would now be giving you a little something from the sea chest I have here. I don't know whether you can see it, but I'm going to just go into it now. We're going to make sure that this is dispatched to you post-haste. It reflects one of my hobbies and interests, Lego. So it's a Baby Yoda. the child, Grogu, dependent on your level of sophistication and knowledge of the Star Wars franchise. Penelope, thanks very much for joining us on the show today. We'll see you again soon.
Until next time, be safe, Andrew. Good to see you.
Thanks, Penelope. Bye-bye.